Well, my dear students of higher secondary first year, dear students, you have already got your admission just after the completion of your high school leaving certificate examination. You have got online admission into higher secondary first year. Dear students, as your classes are not, conducted in institutional setting because of lockdown situation, as well as because of the occupation of the institution where you have had your admission as one of the quarantine centers. From my own residence, today this is the first class just after your admission, and this is online class. So with the help of this online process, I like to welcome you to your higher secondary first year course, particularly to our institute. At the same time, all the students of Assam who have got admission in higher secondary first year in different colleges, all students are welcomed by me, and this is the first class of your education subject. Dear students, I expect all my best wishes are dear to you all, so that you can accomplish you can become so much successful in achieving your goal of education. You can become successful in satisfying your aspiration for higher education, and I hope all of you will be quite sincere, because this is very critical time throughout the global social order. COVID-19 has created so many problems. So dear students, all my respected teacher friends, we cannot, though we are out of formal classes, we cannot spend our time without academic exercises. So I hope this class will help you much more, and this is the starting class, and I should better go to or bring you people or bring you all towards your education syllabus, means for education, higher secondary first year education. This is your education course, and for higher secondary first year you are to study altogether 7 units or 7 chapters, and this is the unit number or unit head there in the extreme side, and then title means the title of the units or chapters have been placed here, and for marks means from each of the units in your final examination. This is the mark, or this is the categorization or fixation of marks which have been fixed by the Higher Secondary Education Council. And for first unit, this is the period, total period, which are to be continued. So first unit is concept and aims of education. For this unit, 15 marks question will be there in the examination, and in formal setting, for the completion of the contents of this unit, altogether 25 periods or classes are to be taken by the teachers. Second unit is stages of human development. 10 mark question you will get in the examination, and for the completion of this unit, 20 periods or classes should be continued by the teachers. third unit is school and its organization. And for this unit, 25 marks have been preserved and 25 periods are to be continued. Dear students, unit number 4 is psychology and education. 10 mark question you will get, 15 periods are to be taken. Unit number 5, physical basis of mental life. 10 marks question you will get in the examination. 20 periods are to be taken. Unit number 6, basis and direction of human behavior. For this unit, 10 marks question you will get and 15 classes are to be or periods are to be continued. Unit number 7 is very much extensive unit, and for this unit, the heading is primary education in India and Assam, and 20 marks question will be there in the examination, and 30 periods are to be continued. So friends, altogether 100 marks and 150 classes are to be continued. So for the completion of your education paper, you see 150 classes you are to attend. Mark division you are to you see check it. There may be any kind of mistake in placing the marks, because I must have to check the origin syllabus which is being prepared by the Higher Secondary Education Council. So if anything wrong is there or any mistake is being committed in placing the marks, I will make it correct in later stage. Friends, 150 classes are to be continued for the completion of your education paper, means for the completion of all the 7 chapters or units. And this paper is quite new for you, because in your school level you have not studied such kind of specific papers. But in your higher secondary level, the subjects which you have selected or you have taken for your study, suppose you have selected education, political science, logic and philosophy like this. So all the papers are to some extent, contents will be quite new for you. But once you begin or start to study, automatically after a few classes you will be well acquainted with all the subject contents so much well. So you are to be from the beginning of your maybe online or traditional classes, you are to be so much sincere. Otherwise there will be problem for you to complete the courses as well as all the contents which are being included in the syllabus of your different subjects. Friends, dear students, let us start our class today, because this is technical class. This class is online class. We never can go on talking. I will help you to understand the next stage too, concerning to the extensiveness of your course contents. Let us discuss our first unit today. Let us start discussion. The first unit is concept and aims of education. Unit number 1, concept and aims of education. From this unit, 15 marks question you will get in the examination. It has also been fixed by the Higher Secondary Council. 25 classes are to be continued. So friends, dear students, you see the parameter of the contents which are being included in this first unit. Let us start. There are subdivisions are there. First subdivision is meaning, definition, scope and the types of education. This is part 1A. Part B is aims of education, that is individual aim of education, social aim of education, vocational aim of education and democratic aim of education. C part is relation with biology, means relation of education with biology, subject biology. And thenceforth we are to study, you see, relation of education with different subjects which are to be studied in proper manner. You see, that is sociology as well as philosophy, economics and statistics. Means the subject which you are to study, this subject has close connection with biology, and biology is the subject subject it is one of the subjects which is to be studied in higher secondary level, particularly in science, the students who have got their admission in science stream. Then sociology is a subject of art, philosophy is a subject of arts, economics is also a subject of arts and as well as science, and statistics is also a subject of arts and science. Being as you have got your admission in science stream, art stream, so this subject has, though it is the subject of your art stream, this subject has concern and connectivity with science students or students of science stream too. Means with science stream, this subject has connection, and that's why a little bit knowledge concerning to science also you will get at the time of studying education. Let us go back to the next slide. This is chapter number 2. Today I will discuss simply about the contents of the papers of different units. This is unit number 2, stages of human development. 10 marks questions you will get. 20 periods are to be taken. 3 parts are here: infancy, childhood and adolescence. You are to study about infancy, you are to study about childhood, you are to study about adolescence. Unit number 3 of your education paper is school and its organization. For this unit, 20 marks question you will get in the examination and 25 periods are to be continued. And here the parts are: number A is physical resources, that is school building and equipments, library, role of technology in education, means the role of computer, role of internet, role of email, teleconferencing, website, etc. you are to study, and part-wise marks have been divided. Let us go back to the next slide. Next, B part is human resources. This is unit number 3. School and its organization is unit number 3, and here you are to study these things. Again, B part, human resources, multiple role of teacher as motivator, facilitator, counselor, innovator, their role in the school and society, and then for the next part is students, their role in the school and society you are to study. C part is guiding agencies. Concerning to the guiding agencies of education you are to study. NCERT, you are to know about NCERT. You are to know about UGC. Then you are to know about SCERT, and you are to know about DIET, DIET. Then the D part of this unit is curriculum. You are to study about curriculum. Then the concept of curriculum is to be studied by you. The need of curriculum is to be studied by you. Principles of curriculum construction, that comma is to be deleted. Principle of curriculum construction you are to study. And then sport co-curricular activities, about co-curricular activities you are to study. Let us go back to the next slide. Unit number 4 is psychology and education. And for this unit you are to study A, concepts of psychology, scope of psychology, and relation between education and psychology you are to study. And for this unit, 10 marks question will be put there in the examination and 15 periods are to be continued. B part of this unit is educational psychology and its significance. This is one of the important units, and for B part you are to study this one. Let us go back to the next slide. Unit number 5 is physical basis of mental life. Physical basis of mental life or physical basis of mental life. A part is central nervous system. You are to study about central nervous system, about which you already studied in your school level, particularly in your science subject. Receptors and effectors, you are to know about the receptors and effectors. Thenceforth, you are to know in detailed manner about knowing process, concepts. You are to study the concepts of sensation. There should be one comma after sensation. Sensation, yes. Perception and conception. These are the 3 parts about which you are to know, because you are to understand about the process of how we know the universe. About human knowing process you are to know, and for understanding the knowing process, these are the 3 parameters which are to be studied. About sensation you are to study. There should be one comma after sensation. perception about you are to study, and about conception you are to study. And these are the mark divisions. Let us go back to the next slide. Unit number 6. Basis and direction of human behavior. You are to study about the basis and direction of human behavior. And this is unit number 6. A part is concept of needs you are to know, drives, instinct and emotion. Concepts of needs, drives, instinct and emotion you are to study. B part is habit and its importance, formation and dissolution of bad habits you are to know. And for this unit, 10 marks questions will be there and 15 periods are to be continued. Let us go back to the next slide. Last unit, altogether you are to study 7 units. Primary education in India and in Assam. This is a chapter of history, and this chapter is very much extensive, and from this chapter 20 marks question you will get in the examination. Number A is indigenous system of education. For this part, 5 marks question will be asked in the final examination. About Gurukul system you are to study, about Patsala you are to study, about Toll you are to study, about Shatra you are to know, about Maktab you are to know, and Madrasa you are to study. Monitorial system you are to know about the monitorial system. Then B part is missionary contribution towards education in Assam. Contribution of the missionaries towards the education of Assam you are to study. That bracket is to be deleted. You see after Assam, and for this part 5 marks questions will be there. Let us go back to the next slide. You see, then missionary contribution towards education is Assam. You are to study this. C part is Charter Act of 1813. History chapter, Utstespas of 1854 you are to know. Hunter Commission of 1882 you are to study. Lord Curzon's policy of 1901 you are to know. Gopal Krishna Gokhale's contribution to primary education you are to study. Wardha scheme of 1935 you are to know about Mahatma Gandhi, role of Mahatma Gandhi relating to education. Then Sport Primary Education Act in Assam or Act of Assam 1926 you are to study this one also. And then for the last part is universalization of primary education since independence of the country since 1947 till today, means after 2 days there will be 15 August when we got our independence. So this is a very much extensive chapter, and this chapter is the chapter of Indian education, history of modern Indian education. Let us go back to the next slide. So friends, these are the 7 units, and this is your education paper. In details, all the courses have been placed before you, and how you are to study, what you are to do. 150 classes are to be continued. So this is a very much extensive paper, and for education you are to study all these things. So today we are simply to start our discussion concerning to chapter number 1 or unit number 1, that is concept and aims of education. We are to study about this. What is education? What is the meaning of education? You have completed many years in your school, or for school education you have spent so many years. Now you have entered into the higher secondary level, and you are to understand the very basic meaning of education. And for this we are well acquainted, means we are well concerned with the term education, because you are acquiring education, means from primary level to class 10 you studied, you see, for 6 years, and during this period, means 10 years for primary to, you see, high school, completion of high school leaving certificate examination, you spend 10 years, and after the completion of education of 10 years you have got your admission in higher secondary level. So what is meant by education? Let us see. Frequently in our day-to-day life we use the term education and make the indispensable, means very important part of our life. Education is a very important part of our life, very important or indispensable part of our life. Education, as we know, is a life-centric, means concentrated towards life-centric and social process. What kind of process this one is? Life-oriented social process, because with the help of education we help our students, means you people develop all human qualities or attributes, and with the development of all human qualities and attributes, you take part or you help to lead your life in proper manner and contribute in the process of social uplift and social transformation. So friends, education plays definite roles in the process of socio-economic, socio-cultural, socio-political development of human society. It helps to bring senses to the cultural specialities of human society. Again, in the process of the change of human civilization, education plays very significant roles. Let us go back to the next slide. This is the introductory, explanations. Education determines the standard of life, society, culture and civilization of human society. Therefore, at the time of determining the aims and objectives and making interpretation of the concepts of education, we are bound to consider different aspects. We are to analyze systematically and judge carefully the needs of human life and different social phenomena. Let us go back to the next slide. I will explain. To understand the meaning of education and to discuss the concepts, the problems of life, needs of society and the present state of civilization are to be well cared of, means taken care of. The primary function of education is to help to understand the meaning and the importance of life and make people, fit to keep the existence of life in proper manner. To understand life and realize the value, there is the need of wide and extensive education. Without education, we cannot realize life in proper manner. To keep our existence and make it strong, there is the need of vocational education. We are to make ourselves ready to take active part in the process of production. Next, let's go back to the next slide. From the ancient Greek civilization, including the civilization of India, there is a continuous process of changes that are taking place in the educational arena, means field. Presently, more or less all the societies of the globe have witnessed crisis in the field of life, society and education because of ongoing COVID-19. Rapid changes have taken place in all the societies, especially in the field of education, and the change time has brought many challenges towards life situations. So friends, we are to stop here today. 7 chapters we are to study for our education subject, and chapter wise marks have been distributed and classes or periods have been fixed. 150 periods are to be continued, means you are to attend 150 classes for the completion of your education paper. And this is your first chapter, meaning of education, concept of education. Friends, you have already crossed more than 10 years from primary to your matriculation level or high school leaving certificate examination. 10 years you have crossed. And if I, in this very first class of yourself, put one question, what do you mean by education? Then what will be your answer? You are to see it. Friends, we are to say that education is a process. It's a process with the help of which human qualities, human attributes, human potentialities are developed or channelized according to the needs of human, according to individual life of every human individual or every human being. And friends, with the development of all the human qualities and capabilities, with the help of education, we help ourselves exist in this very challenging world or very challenging universe. And that's why education has, orientation. It is a life-oriented, means life-centric, at the same time society-centric process. Because with the help of education, the qualities, human qualities, individual capabilities are developed for helping every individual so that he or she can help life exist At the same time, with the existence of life in proper manner, every individual take part in the process of social transformation. And that's why education is a life-centric process with the help of which, means with the help of education, human individual helps life exist. At the same time, it is a very much challenging social process, because with the help of the process of education, the process of transformation means sense of human society as well as development of human civilization is being practically realized. And as it's a process of social sense, all parameters of human society, means culture, human customs, social customs and tradition, as well as social needs, social demands, system of politics, system of economy, system of, human relationship, all are being covered by the process of education. So education is a process with the help of which, cultural transformation is possible. It's a process of sense of economy of every nation or society, human society. It's a process of uplifting or upgrading human relationship. And that's why in broader perspective it is said that education is a life-centric, life-oriented process with the help of which all attributes, human individual capabilities or human individual potentialities are developed so that every human individual become fit for, survive or live in complex social order. At the same time, it's a social process with the help of which transformation of human culture, transformation of social life, as a whole, transformation of civilization or the state of civilization or status of civilization is, made possible or is achieved. So friends, thank you so much for today. I just have placed before you about your course which you are to study for your education paper, and I have just started discussing the very first chapter of your education paper. Means I will discuss everything in detailed manner, and my suggestion to you is, just like school level you needing to study, one single book. You can study, there is a book which is being published by the Higher Secondary Council itself. Free book will be given to you, but it will be a little bit late. Means the whole process of admission is to be completed. You will get free book, and before that you can purchase any book from market so that you can see the contents in nice manner, staying at home because of ongoing COVID-19 situation. So thank you so much. I welcome you all again to this new educational situation or environment, particularly to your college educational environment. I expect everybody will be quite successful in achieving your target, achieving your goal. But friends, for achieving goal, one single parameter is to be well attended by all, that is, you are to be quite mindful at the time of spending your time. Time is gold. Success of life basically depends on proper utilization of time, which has equally been given to all or everybody of the world by the unseen authority. Thank you so much for today.